Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Jansen, Chief Research Officer for Everest Group. Today, I'm joined by Bendor-Samuel, our CEO.
Hello, everybody.
And the topic for today is really where we're seeing the growth in functional areas for 2021. And when we asked the question, like in the IT area and some of the other G&A, we saw basically flat growth. But when we asked the question of the GBS function, we saw lots of growth. In fact, more than double what we've seen in previous years. And today, what I have up on the screen is the list of areas where that growth for the GBS is being expected. So Peter, when you see a chart like this, what do you think?
Well, I think this reflects a couple of things. First of all, it reflects the talent shortages that we are experiencing in the US and in some parts of Europe. And quite simply, people are now looking to go to areas where that talent exists rather than not being able to find it in these scarce markets in the US and Europe. The second factor of this is, I think, COVID driven. I think during COVID, we demonstrated definitively that we could operate well in a distributed marketplace for services. And so coming out of that, where GBSs are capitalizing that and pointing out that it's more cost effective to stand up talent in the low-cost locations than it is in the domestic locations.
Yeah, and as we've seen in other data points, this is not just about moving to low-cost locations, though there is an aspect of that. And it's not just an in-sourced conversation, it's an in-sourced and outsourced model that we're really talking about here within the scope of the GBS organizations.
Well, there's no doubt that GBSs are rapidly maturing, and as they do that, their stature within organizations is growing. One of the things they're being asked to do increasingly is manage the third-party relationships in the supply chain. You see that fairly broadly going on in the marketplace. So as they do that, they're sort of being able to take a holistic view towards these services and have their own people deliver some of it and use the third-party providers to also deliver components. And they're also getting responsibility for other parts of the organization's third-party providers.
Yeah, and there's another implication, it's kind of a political football that comes up around, moving into other geography, moving the work around. And I've always kind of looked at it as it's more of a law of economics and supply and demand that comes into play here, more than a regulatory thing in the long term.
Well, I think you're probably referring to the fact that at least the previous 4 years, we had a U.S. administration that was really anti offshoring. The problem that we face as an economy is there simply aren't enough of these talented individuals in IT and business process in our domestic markets to satisfy the demand. We have no alternative. We have to go to where the talent is. So in the short run, governments through regulations can somewhat constrain it, but it's a hopeless task. With demand exceeding supply, we have no alternative than to go to places such as India and Eastern Europe and the Philippines for our talent.
All right, thank you, Peter. And as you well probably know, we have tons of research on this, and so there will be an opportunity to to dialogue further and participate in studies. So we appreciate your time and have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you.